Okay? This is not what God is saying either. What it's pointing to is what, even in human wisdom and understanding, all across culture, what we would say is a good mother. Okay? Not your mother. A good mother. So God uses that language and that image to show us what his love looks like. What's the first thing you would think about when you think about a mother's love? Nurturing. But nurturing requires sacrifice, right? It costs a mother something. First, it costs the mother her whole life to carry this child in her womb. All that is supposed to sustain her goes to this child first. How incredible that God has put this wisdom in the nature of our being. He says a mother's love is sacrificial. All that is geared towards the child's well-being. In order for this child to be nourished and to be raised in safety. Does not a mother say often, "Oh, I don't like that food." Is it because she really doesn't like that? Or is it because she's saving it for her child who loves that particular food? A mother who might go to a party and they have all of this food laid out, does she not take a napkin and wrap up her child's favorite? Instead of it touching her lips, does she not put it in her pocket and bring it home for her child? When the baby is born, every fiber of her being orchestrated to give the child nutrients of what it needs. Did you know a mother's milk changes as their child is sick? That it produces more antibodies so that the child can fight that cold or an illness. Isn't that incredible? But the body of the mother has to give up what's essential for them for it to flow to the child. And so we know that a good mother is sacrificial. In the way, do we not know that God is sacrificial? He lays down his own life for us. Now, when we think about that, don't we think how irrational that the God of the universe, God who hung every star in the sky, God who breathed life to all being, would love so sacrificially? That is absolutely unthinkable. That is irrational to the core. Have you ever seen an irrational love of a mother? Come on, we see them everywhere. We see them in the soccer fields. We saw them at school. We see them at school plays and teacher and parent interviews. We see them at our own church. We see these mothers even at the grocery stores. I'll tell you why. As a teenager, I had a short stint, a part-time job, as a cashier at a local grocery store in a neighborhood plaza. This is when, do you remember they used to have like little fruit and vegetable stores in plazas and malls? Not just like big grocery stores, a little, stand, a corner store. And I saw this irrational love demonstrated for the first time in my life. There was this mother that walked in with a little 5-year-old boy into this store that I was working as a cashier. And you know what little 5-year-old boys would do? They're curious. They're like little otters. They want to look at everything, feel everything, play with everything. Rambunctious, precocious, curious. Now this happened to be kind of summertime. And in summertime, the grocery store used to cut the watermelon into big wedges, the long wedges, have it saran wrapped, because not everyone wants to commit to a whole watermelon. Sometimes you just want a small portion of it. And so you buy it by the weight. There was a section where all the fruit was kind of cut up into wedges. And I saw this little boy walk away from his mom with corner of my eye. And he moved towards these watermelons, and I'm thinking in my head, this is not good. Sure enough, he takes his finger and he starts poking into the watermelon, creating this divots. And the mom hasn't seen it yet, so he's just going to town, just having a fun time, right? And then his mom finally sees him and walks him around like, it's time.
I'm so tired, so I passed by the boba tea shop and I went to get boba tea. I'm so tired, so yeah. Thanks for coming with me to church. That's what I do basically at church. I hope you enjoy the video. Try and be consistent. See you in my next video. Bye.